بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Our program Spirit of Values, and we will discuss the concept of the innovation, value of innovation. This is Dr. Tariq Rashid. Let's start first. What are the main objectives of this episode? A very important value, innovation. So let's start with the main goal. How can we understand the importance of innovation in a world of rapid change? Lots of changes all over the world, economy, social issues, technology, politics, all over the world. We have lots of changes. How can we understand the importance of innovation in a world of a rapid change? We will translate this goal into several objectives. What do we mean by innovation? What is the concept of innovation? What are the challenges and why do we need to go for innovation? Innovation by itself is not a goal or objective. It's a mean to produce new goals, new ideas, new procedures to deliver whatever excellence we can make on our organizations. Importance of change, and we have lots of change models. And how can we use all innovation in practical applications? So let's start thinking of the following terminology. What do you think the difference between creative person, innovative, excellent, clever, talented? Let's discuss all these terminology. A creative person always think differently. Think outside the box, and the box is called the pattern thinking. So creative people think in a different manner. Innovative is using creative tools to get a new idea, a new application, a new product, a new service. So creativity is a process, innovation is an output. Excellent by presenting the effort. Sometimes you are creative, but you don't give effort, you will not achieve any result. Clever is some sort of readiness with a certain level of competency. Not necessarily your cleverness is in mental. Some people are clever physically. Some people are clever emotionally. And talented, and we discussed previously the value of talents. How can we benefit from all these terminology? We start from talent. Define the talent, and then train the talented people with creativity tools. With effort and being excellent, they will create some new issues. So let's understand the relation between all these terminology to proceed. Now let's think of the following types of thinking, and we have lots in our brain to do. There is what we call mathematical thinking, logical thinking, critical thinking, positive thinking, emotional thinking, pattern thinking, creative, innovative, and strategic. Mathematical thinking, using the concept of analyzing, so analysis and numbers. Sometimes we use statistics. So, for example, in universities, in research, in conducting a master degree in a certain phenomena, we use mathematical type of thinking, where we use to study a certain phenomena, we make questionnaires, we collect data, then we analyze it using some sort of statistical approaches. This is mathematical thinking. Can we use mathematical thinking in solving the problem of poor countries? No, it's just a research, analytical type of thinking. We need it for research for universities. What is logical thinking? People who think logically, they always relate cause-effect thinking. If we have a problem, what are the causes? What are the effects? How to solve? So they think logically in order to solve problems. But there is also what we call critical type of thinking. Critical type of thinking, they are looking for perfectionist. How can we get this into the perfect pattern we need. So sometimes we criticize this to get a better solution. This is critical thinking, positive thinking. In positive thinking, even for challenges and negative problems, we transfer into an opportunity. So people who use positive thinking, they don't give up. Even from negative issues, they got a positive impact, transfer threats into opportunities. This is positive type of thinking. And emotional thinking, people who think of their decision, how will affect the emotions of others, usually depending on their hearts rather than on their minds. And both we need emotional, logical thinking if we want to proceed. The heart is the leader and the mind is the manager. Combine both. What is pattern thinking? Is stereotyping in thinking. For example, you have an experience with a certain problem. When I give you the problem, you give me your experience, which is your pattern type of thinking. And they find that the human brain, how do the human brain store information? If we assume this as a computer, the information system introduced to the brain come into three types of categories. We have what we call the permative mind, which we are all born with. The permative mind, it constitutes of 8% of information given from God into any born baby. This is the permative mind. It includes the DNA, your characteristics, everything, and your talent is born with you. Now, once we start our lives, we start building information. And when they introduce the concept of MIS, Management of Information System, in computers, we start gathering the information and we start programming our minds from our mothers, from our society, from our relations, from our experience, from our five senses, to get what we call a pattern mind. Usually at the age of 25, it reaches the maximum, but sometimes some people will be late in their pattern to get the highest level, and 88% is here stored in our pattern mind. This is the co-pilot. This is a leader for most of people, and they eliminate this. But we still have 4% creative mind, thinking outside the pattern. And this is the box. So creative people think out of the box of this pattern, think differently. This is the creative mind, 4%. Do we need the pattern mind? Sure. But if you need new ideas to accelerate issues, bring new topics, you have to stop your pattern and think creativity. So creative thinking is thinking outside the box. What about innovative? Innovative, applying all tools of creativity to reach a new idea, a new product, a new solution, a new service. And strategic thinking. Strategic means for the long term. So sometimes we go for future foresight. Where are we after 5 years from now? So strategic thinking is to think of the future with a vision, and usually in strategic thinking we have to apply all types of thinking in order to reach a good strategy. So our human brain should be understood by all of us and use all types of thinking according to the situation. And sometimes there is what we call situational concept will lead us in which situation I need mathematical and research. If we have problems and threats, think positively. If we are affecting emotions of people, think emotionally. If you are stuck with a solution that is not effective, think creativity. So by creative way. So this is the concept of the thinking. Now let's introduce the model for innovation. It's called TLF PFMA model. Let's understand this model of how can we think differently to get new issues. The first is think. So the model starts with the T, think. We start always from a certain problem, a certain threat. So let's appreciate having problems, because the problem will help us to update, modify, develop, get new issues. So start from the problem, think of it, address it, put it in front of you or from the team, according as you are you using a team or alone. Then start the learning process. Gather as much information as you need to understand the problem. And here we apply the concept of mind map. What is a mind map? Let me just share how can we have a mind map. We set the problem in the middle of a circle. For example, if we have the problem of pollution, for example, and I'm thinking of solving a solution to have sustainable environment, and I am working in a university, in agriculture, whatever, and I want to discuss the concept of pollution with the new concepts. So we start gathering the information and we set all information we get on this map. And it's called mind map because it actually assembles how our minds work. So if you think of your mind, this is the center of the mind, connected with the cells of information like this. The same idea of a mind map. Set the problem, put all information, then set some sort of grouping the information together. You are learning more about the problem. Step number 3, set a plan. I want to solve the problem by 1, 2, 3. Set a plan. Define how much budget you need in order to solve it. Then you should market your idea to the team, to the consumers, to those people affected. Then start acting. This is TLP, FMA model that we use in order to get new issues, and at the end we should act. But it is a cyclic approach. It's not linear, 1, 2, 3. No, sometimes from the plan, I find that I have problem in learning, so I get back to step number 2. Maybe I am in 6, I discover something problem in the marketing. It's not clear to others. I get back to 5. So this is a what we call cyclic model and cyclic approach. Innovation is the link, and always we need the 2 C's for innovation. What are the 2 C's? Well, challenges create change. And this change is related to another C, which is creativity. So challenge, creativity will lead to change. So innovation is always in the C of C's. We have lots of C's, by the way. We have, for example, we start with a change, apply creativity, then introduce the new idea and proceed. In order the model will make success, we need what we call the 2 I's of success. What are the 2 I's? For our idea that we started with a certain problem, then we learn about it, we set a plan, we discuss the finance, we market it and act. Success means that you achieve 2 I's. First, the idea. And this is steps 1 and 2 in the model. Remember, think, learn, plan is very important. Those are the main 3. Then finance, market, and act. So the first 2, think and learn, to set a plan, is the first I. But then we start the second I, implementation. Let's get for finance, market, and act. So the 2 I's will discuss the concept of this model for success. So the idea. If I want to make success, how much the idea will contribute and how implementation will contribute. If the all is 100% success. Some people will give more weight towards the idea. Others will give more weight to implementation. Actually, idea just 10%. The success of any model is always in action. Because of this came the concept of result-based management. At the end, I need results. So the idea is just 10%. But the idea should consider two factors: uniqueness and needs, but at the end, 10%. A good idea should satisfy both criteria. If the idea is unique but does not satisfy need, I don't need it. If the idea satisfies need but is not unique, we have lots of ideas. It's a must to have the two conditions: unique and satisfy needs. You will achieve the first success by 10% only of your idea. How to check that your idea is perfect? Let's look to this cow. If you are now in a train and you pass through a farm, lots of cows like this. There are more than 5,000 cows like this. And the train is passing quickly. Can you distinguish the cow as you are in the train? It's impossible. But imagine one cow is pink or purple. Pink cow. Would you distinguish it? Yes. Even if the train is with a high speed, I can distinguish one pink cow from all other. This is called in the idea what we call concept of USP. It's not USB, USP. A good idea should have unique selling point. And whenever we discuss new ideas, we ask, can you please define the USP of your idea? What is its unique selling point? So always care for uniqueness that satisfies needs. Sometimes in business, they do the following. If there is no need, we mentioned that it should be uniqueness and needs. And needs. There is another formula in business. If there is no need, create the need and market it, but in the case of uniqueness, you will master. So remember to have a USP, so idea, then implementation will continue the concept. So always be brief in your concept of the idea. Implementation is the success, 90% by implementation. And usually the following is creativity is only 1% inspiration, but 99% hardworking and implementation. So in this episode, we discussed the concept of innovation. How can we apply models of innovation? In the next episode, we will continue with lots of tools for innovation. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.